All right, I think we are live. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Don't forget to join my AD page, which is in the comments or the live chat right there as a link. And if you haven't seen a Tuesday night gun chat, you just ask me your questions. I give you my answers. They're worth about what you paid for them, which is nothing, unless of course you give a super chat, which means they're worth more than what you paid for them. So that is that. Don't forget to check out the links below. And if you want to see the cool stuff, go to my AD page. So appreciate all that. We usually start by shouting out the chat, and we start a little bit by just getting your questions in. So get those questions in. I'm actually going to start doing something a little different every chat people are coming in. I'm going to go over some of my community pages. I've done some polls on the community page. It's been a little while, but I'm going to do some polls on the community page. And yeah, it's been a little while since I've done one here. So yeah, here we go. So before we get started there, while y'all getting your questions in and all that kind of stuff, I am going to share my screen. We're going to talk about this poll, and then we'll get started with people in the chat and that kind of thing. Um, yep, here we go. All right. So let's see. Our current poll is this was 11 days ago. 704 of you voted. 180 comments. That was great. 32. Now let's make it 33 likes. And let's see. What is your favorite defensive hand cartridge for two-legged threats? YouTube only allows 5 answers, so if yours is different, comment below. All right. And we had 18% of you pick the right answer, which was 10 millimeter auto. 46% of you were still failing with 9 millimeter. I'm just kidding. I carry a 9 millimeter all the time. 40 Smith and Wesson, 11%, 45 auto, 14%, 357 Magnum, 12%. And there were a lot of 357 SIGs in the comment, which is, great one to carry as well. I'm not as impressed with 9 millimeter. I have a video coming out. I've been editing. It's a very long video. It's going to end up being 30 minutes, but I used my clear ballistics gel for 8 different types of 9 millimeter. I'm not impressed. Just say I'm not impressed. I'd much rather have 40, 45, or 10 millimeter, or even 357 Magnum than 9 millimeter. So I'm not impressed. So maybe you 9 millimeter people will change during that. So anyway, that was our latest poll. So I hope y'all can do that. Don't forget to check out my latest video there too. It's just a Springfield Elite versus the Glock 20 Gen 5. So all that being said, let's get to shouting out the chat. And let's see who is here. Travis Chapin is first. Alaska One Andy, good evening. Brutal Bob. Alvaro Alvaro Aguera. There we go. Ethan A, good to see you. Be the fun and dysfunctional. I like that. Be the fun and dysfunctional. Justin Perryman. Hello from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I hope all is well with you. Yes, peace sign USA. Delta Triangle peace sign USA guy. So that's that. Hunter Kirk is again coming in from North Idaho. Found you again. Thank you, Daniel Ravenstar. I appreciate it. How you doing, brother? I have not forgot about that rifle. All right. Just busy. All right. Let's see. What's up, Holmes? Good evening, chat. What's up, David Thompson? How you doing? All right. My buddy's dead set on a 30-06 for his first gun. I told him it might be a bit too much for his. What are your thoughts? How big is he? If it's his first rifle, has he shot a shotgun before? Has he shot any before? What's he going to use it for? Because if he's planning on one gun to hunt everything in North America, that would be the minimum for like bison, grizzly bear, and moose. Although I used less than that for my moose last year. So yeah, I would. It depends on what he's doing. I mean, if he's a big guy, he can probably handle it. If he's a skinny little scrumpy guy, yeah, get him a 6.5 Creedmoor. All right, which can still handle everything in North America if you hit it right. Wouldn't be my first choice for bison or big brown bears. But people have killed lots of moose with 6.5 Creedmoor. If you go look in the hunting with 6.5 Creedmoor chat, there's a bunch of moose over on the Facebook page. I actually started that group over on Facebook so I could share my own videos. Anyway, the real young 10 millimeter. Yes, sir. That's right. Nothing wrong with 30-06. I know some rather small people that handle 30-06 quite well. Yeah, there you go. And I know some bigger people that didn't. So just depends on him. Good evening. Looking forward to seeing your moose rack on the wall behind you. Yeah, I'm working on that. I got to clean up this room and get everything done. And this wall is going to be painted green screen green. So when I do my music videos, I can do that. I can have them the moose rack. Um, I can have it behind me. Yeah, yeah. I was telling this gun shop owner the other day. I said, "You better watch because I'll have." He is. Yeah, he's like, "You can be in Paris." I'll be like, "I'll be in Paris with my moose rack behind me." Yeah, with the green screen there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually find like a Paris photo I can green screen. All right. Agreed. What's up? 30 Craig Graham. Tell him to grip the shoulder. Grip it to the shoulder hard. Yep, that's true. All right. What is up, evening all? What is up, Emmanuel Klassen? It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. Glad you're back. Let's see. Yeah, hang on to the 36 on 6. It won't beat you up. Yeah, and then one thing you can do is like if you hand load, you can hand load 130 grain barns, and that'll be good for anything up to elk, if not moose. Because like I said, I killed my moose with the 127 grain Barnes LRX last year, in 6.5 by 284 Norma. So like, 30-06 with the 130 grain Barnes floating around 3,300 feet per second. Yeah, you should be able to do it. Tasman says hello from Idaho. How you doing, David Sawyer? Hey, Warren, how you doing? From Michigan. I'm a double amputee, and I can still handle 30-06 with no problem. There you go. Question. What do you think of TC Encores? Thought about barrel in 30-06, 308, 30-30, and 12-inch barrels as a backup in the bottom of the pack. Yeah, the only thing about the 12-inch barrels is then you have to register it as a short barrel rifle. Even though it's not a semi-automatic, it's not an AR-15, that kind of thing, you still have to register it as a short barrel rifle. Or you got to put a pistol, or right now you can legally put a pistol brace on it because of the current ruling. But yeah, that ruling could change at the next level and then change at the next level. Who knows? So yeah. So he's about 180 pounds, a little over 6 foot. So he's scrawny. I mean, 180 pounds and a little over 6 foot is kind of scrawny. If he were 200 pounds, 205, it'd probably be better. He shot some 308. If he shot 308, the difference between 308 and 30-06 these days, so that 130 degree Barnes I was just telling you, the max in the Barnes manual is a little over 3,300. The max in for 308 in the Barnes manual is a little over 3,200. So like you're not going to get that much difference. And if you have a shorter barrel with a slower powders at 30-06, say a 22-inch barrel instead of a 24, you might end up having, some pretty equal velocities with that load. All right. So it is what it is. Soldier 830 8371. Hello, how's it going? Thank you for dropping on in. I weigh 150, fire 300 Win Magnet all day long, no sweat. Yeah, there you go. It's all about what it is, what you want to do. Warren Ambrose. Let's see. Even 165 grain and 30-06 is not a hard kicker. It depends on how much powder's in that 165 grain. Those Hornady CX and a lightweight Tika, they kick. I ain't gonna lie, but generally speaking, you're right. There's that. What's up, Keith Reese? All is going well right now. Oh man, Travis, I'm sorry about that. I understand though. If I could cut both my legs off at the knee, I would. Just all the pain in the calves. So, anyway. So, that is shouting out the chat. Get your questions in here. That was a good question. So, it looks like we've gotten in all of that. And let's see. All right. So, one of the things I wanted to do, again, was find out, and this is what's kind of started all those started these polls here, is I wanted to know where most of my viewers are now. The great majority of my viewers are from the United States. So we got Alaska, Western U.S., 23%, Southern U.S., 33%, Midwest, 24%, Northeast Commonland U.S., 11%. So like that's kind of where my viewers are from. So I always thought that was kind of interesting. Like because I'm a Southern boy at roots, I got a Southern U.S. as my 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 highest category. So I have the most people watching from Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee and Kentucky, and like if you consider Kentucky that south, Texas and Oklahoma and stuff like that. So It's pretty interesting. So I get comments all the time on where the people live and what they want. So it's a lot of different strategies depending on the hunts there. So I just thought I'd share that with you. That was with 482 votes. So anyway, let's see here. Yep. Gen 5 G29 opinions. Well, I have a Gen 4 G29. I love it. It's my main carry gun. Like I'm not carrying it today for various reasons, but it's my main carry gun. Like um yeah, G29. I love G29. I do think the Springfield XDM 3.8 inch is a better gun. Has better lockup. The grip is actually not as good. The grip angle's better, but the grip itself is not as good. But it has a tighter lockup, and it actually has such tighter lockup that it's going to get 20 or 30 feet per second faster because it's not blowing some pressure out the back. So I think it's good. Like I've shot it a couple times on the channel. I have a Gen 4 versus the I have a Gen 4 versus the XDM 3.8, and of course that'll be that. Travis Chapin, no Eastern US. Well, it was either Southern or Northeastern. So like, if you're in Virginia, that's Southern, and if you're in Maryland, that's Northeastern. So like I couldn't include Alaska. I only get 5 choices. So that's what's this that. Pat Green. All right, I have 230-06, a Springfield 1903, awesome. Whichever Sporter is original 1918 from being sporterized, and a sporterized Remington 1903A that I use for deer hunting. There you go. Can't beat that. That's a good one for sure. Hey man, I hope you're having a good day. My birthday is in July 4th. That's my anniversary is July 4th. Yeah. How many of y'all are that patriotic? You got married on July 4th. That's my anniversary. And we only did that because I'm dumb enough to forget it if I don't do that. So no, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Got 4 rifles in 30-06, 2 1917s, a Grand, and a Weatherby Vanguard VGX. Cool. 30-06 is one of those calibers. I've had it in the past. I just really just don't see the point anymore. If I need power and longer range, I get 300 Win Mag. If I need a shorter action, I'll get 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor or something like that. I just don't like as a hunting application. 30-06 is kind of irrelevant. Like I just it's fun. It's a good caliber. It's been around forever. It's killed every game in North America, most game in Africa. Like it's a good caliber. Don't get me wrong. It's a good cartridge rather. But I just don't see it being well relevant anymore because you have so many cool cartridges that 308 is almost up there. For a while there in the Nosler manual, there was it might have been a mistake, but there was a 168 grain ballistic silver tips. Yeah, Nosler manual. I could get more in 308 than I could in 30-06. It was kind of weird. I have that manual around here somewhere. I'll prove that at some point. But I just don't see the point in 30-06 anymore. But it's a good cartridge. Like, I do think if you're going to go for an all around cartridge, 30-06 is way better than 270, but not as good as 7mm mag. If it gets its velocity, 7mm PRC, 300 PRC, 300 Win Mag. As far as all around, I don't think it's as good as those. Because, like I said, 300 Win Mag, load up that 130 grain Barnes. You can hunt anything from deer to caribou to elk with that 130 grain Barnes because the Barnes bullet is a solid bullet and you get that speed on it. 300 Win Mag, you don't have to worry about it dropping below expansion for 600 or 700 yards in 300 Win Mag because it's going to be going 36 to 3700. So with my length barrel, my long barrel anyway. So what are your thoughts on the 2011 trend? I got to shoot one. I have a short on it on the channel. I got to shoot one for the first time. It was a Live Free Armory. That was one of the nicest pistols I picked up. Like, if I could afford to buy one, I would buy one. If they had one in 10mm, I would have bought one right there. But it's a 9mm. It's a double stack 1911 style. It was very smooth, and it's not that expensive. It's like around $1,000 gun, give or take a little bit. They asked me how much I thought this gun was going to be. I said 2,500. They're like, sure, we'll take that from you. I go, okay, how much is it? And they said like 949 or 979 or something like that. And I got to shoot it at the Iraq Veteran 88 shoot, and it was just incredible how good that gun shot. So if you like it, go get it. Like, if I had the money to spend, I have other guns I want to get for the channel first, but if I had the money to spend, that would be definitely one of those guns I would get. So just something to think about. If the old '06 kicked hard, I wouldn't have had it. I've shot 50 BMG before, no problem. Yeah, but 50 BMGs don't kick because the guns are like 30 pounds and they have these muzzle brakes on them like a tank, and they literally just don't kick. So I say 50 BMG is way less on your shoulder because of the heavy guns and the big muzzle brakes. Way less on your shoulder than 30-06 would be in a lightweight hunting gun. Like there's not even close. Like 50 BMGs, yeah, they're powerful. Yeah, the shock and noise of it shooting is, everybody around you is just like feeling it in their chest, but you as the shooter, nope, you're good. So highly, highly recommend that you uh that highly recommend 30-06 not being a lightweight rifle because it will kick you. That is that, and I've shot them before. They kick. So my anniversary is July 6th. But again, it depends on the load and everything like that. Everybody hit the like button. Hey man, hope you have a good night. I gotta go. Okay, you too. I'm gonna go out and get it. So I bought a used four wheeler. So I bought a used four wheeler and happy. I've got some things I had to put a new battery in it. I've got some things I got to do to it still, but I think we're going to be putting a thermostat in it. I think we're going to be putting a switch for the fan in it. Right now, we got the fan wired. Well, I had it wired, and the wire fell out because it was just clipped in there. We had the fan wired to the ignition, so the fan would turn on when you turn it on. But yeah, it's pretty interesting for sure. It's been fun. My son has been addicted. I found out along the power line that just miles and miles of bear poop every 100 yards for 2 or 3 miles. So I might be looking for a bear. I might do bear hunting live. I mean, that'd be kind of fun. So be sitting there whispering with my headset on and my phone in the tripod. That'd be kind of cool. Let me know if y'all want to see a bear hunting live. I mean, I can't show the guns while I'm hunting live. That would be kind of interesting. Yeah. So 30-06 is available everywhere, and that includes many different countries. Yeah, it's a great cartridge. Like, it's a great cartridge. I just don't think it's relative. Like, it was the all around do everything cartridge up until like the 1990s, and then as better 7 mag loads got out there and it's more 300 Win Mag became popular and stuff like that, as those bigger ones became more popular, and then the PRC cartridges hit. Um, Even 6.5 PRC kind of rivals 30-06. So 6.5 PRC is getting in the high 2800s with even close to 2900s with a 150 grain bullet. That's what a 30-06 does, is 29 to 3000. So even 6.5 PRC uh, is rivaling it, and it'll have a much better ballistic coefficient. So 30-06 is a great caliber. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's kind of irrelevant. A lot like 270, but I still like it better than I like 270 personally. Yep. Yes, I do. My son has a 30-40 Krag. Cool. Ammo coming in your yard. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, then that's why the dude invented the 30-40 Krag. 1906, good one AI. Yep. What is up, John Crump News? If you haven't subscribed, excuse me, to John Crump News, go ahead and do that. One of the best 2A channels. He usually has everything out first. Not always, but usually. Investigative journalist. So by trade. So everybody say hello, John Crump News. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed to him, you're either ignorant of his channel existing or you're a dirty, filthy commie. So go subscribe to him. Wolverines. Okay, go. Sorry. All right. Got a little inspired there. All right. Yep. Just go click on his button in the chat. Go subscribe, and then come back. Unless you don't like me that much. So, all right. How you doing, Sam Brim? It's good to see you. Yep. Craig Jorgensen. Buffalo bore 10 millimeter 180 grain 1352nd jacket of hollow point considered a hot load. Yes. Yeah. So 180 grain at 1250 is considered, which is right around 600 foot pounds, is considered kind of the standard medium load. 1300 would be pushing it, and then 1350 would be a really hot load. Yeah, yeah, I would say that is what it is. Yep, Swedish shit definitely sounds like it. I have a 308 and an Intermark Arms Mark X. Ever heard of that rifle? Yes, I have actually. I have heard of that rifle. It's a good rifle. They were good. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know much about them, but I've heard of them. So if you live here in Alaska, let's go shoot it. I've got some 308 loads to test. So Craig is Norwegian. Okay, that makes sense. What's up, Anonymous F? Been a while since I've seen you. Martin Horst. Martin Horst. It's good to see you. Savage Lee, 20 thumbs up. Woohoo. Love your AR-15s, America. There we go. Go hit the like button if you hadn't already. I keep an AR-15 next to my bed. Me too. One of the things I'm going to do with the ballistics gel is best AR-15 home defense ammo. So I'm planning on shooting that hopefully next week. We'll see. Do it on Rumble. 199. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, John Crump, for the super chat. You didn't have to pay me to advertise you, but I appreciate that. Yeah, go do it on Rumble too. Yeah. I don't log into Rumble much. I haven't uploaded a lot of videos over there in a while. So, but I'll go subscribe on Rumble. 10 euros acquire inner arms Mark X 243 and real African with higher wood stock. Absolutely mind blowing beauty. So accurate at 200 yards. I can shoot a deer in the neck. Yeah. I would argue most rifles you could shoot a deer in the neck at 200 yards if you've got a good rest and support. Yeah. Where in Alaska would you be limited to if you did not want to fly on a puddle jumper? That's a good question. So the Anchorage Bowl area. So there are roads that go from Homer on the south end of the Kenai Peninsula all the way up to Anchorage. There's also Seward and Soldotna and Kenai as towns in that area. And then there are roads that go all the way to Anchorage, and then roads from Anchorage come up to Palmer and Wasilla, and from Wasilla they go up to Denali National Park through towns like Talkeetna, and all the way past Denali National Park to Fairbanks. And as far as living somewhere and you want to live there, Fairbanks is probably as far north as you want to go. There are places farther north, but they're all just little outposts until you get to like Prudhoe Bay, Dead Horse, where the big oil is. And so I've driven that road. It is I'm above Anchorage. I'm northeast of Anchorage by 30 minutes or so. It is a 2-day drive from my house to Prudhoe Bay, Dead Horse. Like it is a legit 2-day drive. So something to think about. You could also live in Toke, Glen Allen. Glen Allen and Toke get really super cold in the winter. I mean, like -50, -70. You better have a heated garage kind of thing. So that's that. But yeah, if you want to live in Alaska now, Juneau, you could probably live in. It's a little liberal, but yeah, Juneau you could live in, and you wouldn't be flying a puddle jumper in and out of there most of the time. But Juneau is not would not like there's nowhere to go in Juneau. There's Juneau, the island that it's on, and maybe there's a bridge to another island here or there. I don't know, but usually it's just no, it's done. So like there's not you can't go 20 miles outside the city. Well, you probably can't go 5 miles outside the city. So that's that. And the weather is awful. Juneau is a rainforest. Like that Seattle rain all the way up. Yeah, it's a rainforest. When I was there coaching football, the only time I've been to Juneau, it was just heavy, 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 heavy snow, wind blowing, snow mixture rain. The whole time I got soaked. I wore a bunch of water resistant stuff instead of waterproof stuff. Yeah, not cool. I like their DS6. Good. I'm glad you do. Could never get decent groups with the Barnes 130 TTSX until I cleaned my barrel down to the metal, as some comments on YouTube suggested. Now it's sub MOA and 32 to 50 feet per second out of my 22-inch model 70 with 50.5 grains of tack. There you go. That is 50.5 grains of tack in that 130 grain bullet. Yeah, Barnes don't like to group when the barrel's dirty. That's for sure. Unless it's been other Barnes. My opinion, 35 Wheeling. Okay. Do you like 35 Wheeling or 358 Federal? Well, you can't get guns or rifles for any of them right now. You can't find ammo for either 358 Federal. You definitely can't get ammo for. I've never heard of it before. 358 Winchester, you could. 35 Whelen, you can get ammo. The last I saw, it was $80 or $90 a box for Remington Core Lock of all the crappy things you could get. So like the only production gun in 35 Whelen right now is a CBA break action. I just don't get the point of that. So, like, is it a cool caliber? Yes. Is it better than 30-06? Probably. Is it better than 7 mag or 300 Win Mag? Absolutely not. 338 Win Mag? No, because you can get all ammo and loading supplies and all that for that. But 35 Wayland, there's like one production rifle made for it right now. So it is what it is. And Sportsman's Warehouse wants like $4.99 for that rifle. It's a break action CVA. No. Yeah, I'm like, no. Yeah, but between the two, 35 Wayland, but yeah. History of inner arms is unreal. Walter Parts made the fluted bolt system for the German Mauser. There you go. Exactly. I use 30 cal, 130 grain, hollow point, flat base, 30-06 or 300 Win Mag. Cool. That'll do it. I think Biden has COVID-19. We had a wedding last week and I ended up getting COVID. My brain quit working. Yeah, I understand that. What's up, Ken? How you doing? Ken makes CKB hard gas bullets, which I brag on all the time. So go check him out. Question is, will sketchy Smith & Wesson 10mm handle that hot buffalo bore? What do you think? No. No, there are plenty of videos out there, including mine, of Smith & Wesson not even handling regular loads, much less that hot one. If you've changed your springs and stuff, in my comment section on my video, Rich, there's a bunch of people who commented exactly what springs they used and how they changed them. And that would be something you'd want to look up. So, hey, John Crumple, visit your site. Yep. Moderated in military surplus firearm forms. Hard to fool me with military stuff at 53 years old. There you go. How's the 280 AI coming? Is it true you can form 280 AI brass from 280 Remington 35 degree shoulder in a 280 AI chamber? I think so. It's true. I haven't never tried it. I don't own a 280 AI. Chuk does. I think he's going to be using that for caribou this year. But yeah, I don't own a 280 AI. There's that. Hey, what's up? Yeah, Manchester, England, inner arms, great quality. 6.8 Western, 170 grain bullets, 2960 feet per second. Yeah, the 6.8 Western's a good cartridge. Like you're really starting to turn me on it a little bit. Like if Hornady had, if other companies would produce rifles for it, it'd be a really good thing. It's just like it's certainly the best .277 cartridge. Way better than 270 Winchester, which won't stabilize that bullet. At least not at lower elevations. I know Reloading Weatherby has had some good things there. Yes, this is a major win for America. No more Chevron deference. That is great. If you don't know what that is, you are ignorant and haven't been paying attention. But they struck down the ability for a government agency to interpret an ambiguous law any way that it wants to, basically. All right. And Chevron deference has been abused. It wasn't even supposed to do that. It was only supposed to be in non-criminal cases for them to do that. But it's been used in criminal cases, and that's why they struck it down. 6.5 SPC. I don't know what that is, or RPM. I'd rather have 6.5 PRC than either one of them. If I want more speed than that, you go to 6.5 by 300 Weatherby. That's that. Yeah, not a fan of 270 caliber bullets. Yep. Negative 50 or 60 in the wintertime, that should be illegal. Tell that to God or whatever you believe in. But yeah, good luck with that one. My arthritis restricts me to the lower 48 today. It was 111, nice and sunny. Well, it's nice and sunny here. It's about 77. So, not that I know of. Not that I know of. So, most of those companies tell you to hire bear spray or bring bear spray. That's what they tell you. Yep. Yeah, 280 can be Remington can be formed in an AI chamber. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was the case. All right. The Intermarm Smart X is motorized Mauser from World War II. They were made in England and Czechoslovakia, imported to the U.S. by Interarms. Beautiful wood stock, accurate. Yep, they were good guns. I know that. I knew they were good guns. Always heard groceries were super expensive over there. Does anyone ship large quantities of good from the lower 48 to stock up and save money? Yes, some people do. There's a couple of organic orders that my wife does. Once a couple times a year, she'll do that. There's a couple of really, really good. Like if we like, I need to get people together and see if we wanted to do a whole pallet full of ammo. We could do that. So there's a whole lot of things there. So thank you, Travis. All right. We have made it through all the questions here so far. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Same for the 30-06 room can be fired in its own AI chambering. That's correct. So appreciate I learn something new every time I talk to you guys. So that's the cool thing. So, yep. So, no new guns for a while. In fact, I'm probably going to sell my Glock 20 because of the jams I've had out of that Cerakote one. So, it is what it is. Okay, good question here. When in the backcountry, what kinds of emergency survival items do you carry? I have a spot, one of those little things you can send an emergency text to. I don't recommend it. It's not that good. My wife didn't get the non-emergency text from it very well. I carry a cigarette lighter and matches, and a striker. I have those in separate places. The striker and the matches are usually in my bag. The cigarette lighter is usually in my pocket. That's that. I always carry some 550 cord if I need to build a structure out of wood, out of branches and stuff. I can do that. I carry an emergency blanket. I carry a tent and sleeping bag and sleeping pad. I know a lot of guys don't, but it really does help you stay warm. Um, so there's that. Um, Carry extra ammo. I like to carry a 22 pistol, preferably suppressed every time. So if I run into smaller game, I can still take that without blowing the ears off of all the bigger game. So I really think that's a good thing you should have. Um, Water purification. Don't go out there without some type of water purification that could last you weeks. Like so, I carry a pump filter. So kind of is what it is. So what's up, 10 millimeter fluffy Jeep guy? Hey, hey, y'all. There we go. Okay, good evening. Hopeful Ballistics, also a very good channel. Who likes 308 with tack powder? Yeah, there you go. All right. Any AI chambering can have its ammo fire form from its original status. That's what I thought. Should have no interference. Yep. Clay after decades of being parts manufacturing. So many companies have parts even in 1899. Okay, cool. What bullet do you recommend for 6.5 PRC for deer hunting? Barnes 127 grain LRX. Yeah, it's going to open up. May lose a pebble or two. It's going to penetrate all the way through. Yeah, and you should be able to send that thing upwards of 31, if not 32, if you had the right powder. I think that, well, maybe not 32, but you should be sending it way over 31. 31. Yeah, I think, uh, Tim, I have a video on 6.5 by 284 Norma versus 6.5 PRC. And if you wanted to check that out, here, I'll go put it in the, I'll go put the link here in the, see. Yeah, it was almost a year ago. Copy the link here. But yeah, I've got that in there. I prefer the 127 grain LRX. Like you can take anything from deer to moose with it. I took a moose with my 6.5 by 284 Norma last year. So you can certainly take a moose with it. But it's also light enough bullet that it's not overkill for deer. So is what it is. All right. Hello. Speaking of AIs, I just spoke with JGS Reamers today. Seriously considering a 270 O'Connor. Simply a 280 AI neck down to 277, 130 grain. Mono at 3,200 feet per second, mild to moderate load. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Is that what you're going to bring caribou hunting up here, Derek? So, what bullet do you recommend for the 6.5 PRC? Oh, we already did that one. Gunsmith is worth of salt. Thoughts on the 10 millimeter versus 460 Roland? Is 10 millimeter enough in bear country, or is the Roland really worth buying now? In Idaho with the Grizzlies, more and more. Brian, I'm going to tell you to buy 10 millimeter. One, there's plenty of documented cases of 10 millimeter working up here in Alaska. All right. And 460 Rolands just seem to be really finicky, even 45 super conversions. So if you don't buy a gun that was made originally as a 460 Roland, most of them out there are somebody's conversion. And especially if it's not an actual Roland conversion, there's a lot of finicky ammo. Like my guy that ran my cameras for a while, he has a 1911 that he just converted back to 45 ACP because he could not get it to run 460 Roland. I couldn't get through a whole magazine. It would run 45 Super, which is plenty. And so I've actually shot. So 45 Super is like a 45 caliber 10 millimeter. It's a step down from 460 Roland, but a little bit more than 45 ACP plus B plus. So 45 Super would work great. In fact, I've shot a grizzly bear through the head with a 45 Super, a wounded one that was still kind of reflex breathing, and that's what made him stop. But that being said, 10 millimeter actually penetrates more than 45 Super because of the sectional density being better. So I would say 10 millimeter, you're going to have a lot less reliability issues. It's still a high pressure round. You're still going to have occasional jams and weak springs and stuff like that, but nowhere near that you're going to have in 460 Roland. If you're going to do a 460 Roland, Springfield XDM, do the Springfield XDM, buy it from Roland in their setup, and you should be good. Let's see. All right, Jonathan, how you doing, man? Just bought a Glock 17 Gen 5 coming in this week. Any parts recommendations? Thinking of Wager Machine Works slide cut and coating, Holson Red Dot Night Sights Glock Performance trigger possibly. If it's a Gen 5, it should already have the MOS cut. If it doesn't, do what you want to. Only thing I recommend is night sights, to be honest with you. That's the only thing I recommend. Get night sights. So yeah, go check out that video. That's my 6.5 by 284 versus 6.5 PRC video. And let's see. Derek, maybe. Any experience with CFE 223 through the 308? No. I think I have one bottle of that stuff. Planning on the 270-7 millimeter PRC for caribou next year when I see you next in August. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're coming in July, late July. So, do you hunt year round up there? Yeah. There's games in season all around. Winter, I usually hunt small game. I don't, I don't go after caribou. They're way too far north and it's way too cold. And I don't go after bear in the winter or moose in the winter. But in the winter, I generally go hunt grouse and squirrels and rabbits and stuff like that. So out of nowhere, a pack of wolves are on you. What's your number one handgun? Only wolf size. 10 millimeter. Like, yeah, it'd be 10 millimeter. Honestly, though, today when I was riding my four wheeler up the hill behind my house here, I kind of had a issue that I had. I was carrying my 40 Smith & Wesson, so I just kept that on me, and it still had hollow points in it. But I threw my 44 Magnum Smith & Wesson on my chest. So today they would have got 44 Magnum and 40 Smith & Wesson, the wolves. But another day, maybe something else. Your thoughts on 10 millimeter hollow point, and if positive, which brand? Obviously not for bear defense, but for home defense. For home defense, I would get Underwood loaded 155 grain XTPs. They're usually very, very reliable. They're very accurate, and it's actually the most powerful as far as foot pounds of energy goes. It's the most powerful load you can buy is that 155 grain XTP. They're typically going about 1500 on the box, going 1600 plus in my G40 because of the longer barrel. So, and I'm still getting 700 pounds of energy out of them with the Glock 29. It's like 697. So I'm still getting like 697 foot-pounds of energy with 155 grain XTPs. That being said, they will break apart and not penetrate quite as deeply in the G40, but but it is what it is. Why use a 10 millimeter semi-auto compared to 357 Magnum revolver? Any reason? Yeah, there's 11 reasons. You get 11 more rounds, and most semi-autos today, if you're taking well care of them, don't jam. Um, a revolver. I've actually had my thick gloves get stuck behind the trigger of a revolver and caused it not to function. And we're wearing thick gloves in Alaska, so that's something that can't really happen in a semi-auto. So, you know, yeah, is a revolver more reliable and it's going to give you 99.99999% reliability? Yes. But a good 10 millimeter semi-auto these days, most of them are going to do really, really well at 99.9999% reliability. Okay. So yeah, there's no reason to carry a 357 mag over a 10 millimeter. There's no reason whatsoever. If you take care and it's a quality gun and you've got all the springs and everything right where it runs the bear protection ammo, polished the feed ramp, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, is what it is. So yeah, I don't see why you would carry a 357 Magnum over a 10 millimeter. Now I've carried my 357 Magnum and a 10 millimeter at the same time, but I haven't carried them over a 10 millimeter. So that's that. What's your opinion of Hornady SST 165 grain bullet and 308 Winchester? Seems to have good reviews on deers and hogs and medium sized in. The Hornady SST stands for super sucky tip. It is an absolute piece of crap bullet. Do not get it. I've shown how it just, if you shoot it into any type of bone, you're not ever always guaranteed the shot you want behind the shoulder or anything like shooting any type of bone, it's going to break apart. If it's accurate in your rifle and you're shooting tight groups, go for neck shots. I would go for neck shots, but no, um, no, the SST is one of those insults to bullets. It should never have been out. A lot like the ELDX. They're both varmint bullets at non-varmint weights. That's what they are. They're terrible. Yeah, I got the non-MOS version because everybody complaining about the plate system. It's like what caught most more is the way to go. I have a plate system. I have a Gen 5 MOS, and that is absolutely bullcrap. If you don't like the plate system, buy a plate from somebody else. That's what I did. I bought a plate from this company off of Amazon that was a DPS, I don't know, plate system. It was a titanium plate system on Amazon, and it's worked phenomenal. It's hundreds and hundreds of rounds, no backing out of screws. And you can use longer screws that come with the optic anyway. So it's like, why would you not do that? So I've got that Siley Optics Bear or Bruin or whatever it is on the G34, and it's awesome. So I recommend it. But yeah, even my wife liked it. But yeah, I just got a little titanium plate, cost me $40 off of Amazon, and it's great, man. Yeah, you don't need to spend an extra $200 or $300 getting a non-MOS and then getting it cut down. So that's just not the way to go. Ted Nugent carries a 10 millimeter, uses HST. Think Federal Hydroshock. Swear by it. Yeah, for lower 48, yeah, you want to use obviously flat nose hard cast here. Doing pretty good. Trying to stay cool here in Tucson. It's as hot as I bet it is. Miss my Alaskan summers for sure. Yeah, it's been 77 to 80 degrees out. Are you friends with any natives and have you hunted with natives? No. Well, I have lots of native friends. Let me rephrase that. I have not gone hunting with them. That's supposed to change. Me and one of them are working on that. So it's kind of fun. 172 Spear Impact. CFE 223, 2,850 feet per second, 308 Winchester. Hopeful Ballistics, man, that is awesome. Thought about getting those 30 round magazines for my brother-in-law and dad because they got 10 millimeter Glocks as a joke. The SGM ones are not bad. They're not bad at all. So if you change the weight of your recoil spring, though, they may not be timed correctly. So Should try to grow a pecan tree. Can't grow here. I have a battalion of squirrels in my backyard. I believe they use the pecan tree as a forward operation base. Yeah, pretty much. Would those 155 grain XTP be good for wolves and wild dogs? No, I would say you'd want to go 180 grain or 200 grain XTP. Again, penetration is everything, but just it also depends on how long a barrel you're shooting at it. Out of the Glock 29 short barrels, yes, it'd just be just fine because it's not going to open up too quickly and shatter. Out of a G40, no. Out of a CMMG Banshee, no. Wait for it, bust a base. Did you see the recent YouTube video of Grizzly charging a pickup truck in Montana? It broke the windshield wiper. It was a sour cubs. I did not. I will Google it. Thanks. Never used Hornady for a reason. I like some of Hornady's bullets and stuff. They have some good stuff. Like their CX bullet is a fantastic bullet. And then until I got a good group of the 165 grain Barnes and the 180 grain North Fork, Hornady CX 190 grain was grouping the best in my gun. So here, most of the land you hunt is public. Like there's not like acres and acres of private land like there is in the lower 48. There's some native land. You got to be careful on that. And then there's all this other stuff. But most of the land you hunt here is public. Okay. Yes, you do bump into other hunters. Yeah. You run into a lot of hunters, mostly before you pack raft it out. Sometimes when you pack raft it out. So How's Ballistics 165 grain and my 30-06 is an absolute deer slayer. Yep. Nozzle ballistic tips are better than SSTs because they have a thicker cup. They still can shatter if you hit bone, but they're not near as bad as SST or ELDX. I Hornady carry them in my 1911 185 grain 45 HP. My gun loves them. There you go. The XTP is not a bad bullet. Buster Base Hornady just went down in the stock market with that review. It will be better to use Acuvon or Fusion's 165. Greetings from Spain. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, Travis, I've had 100% success with nozzle ballistic tips in every cartridge I've used them for deer, pronghorn, black bear. Cool. Yeah, Springfield XTM 4.5 inch. That's a good one. That's a good 10 millimeter. And Luminous Dave, if you watch my latest video, you'd know that I reload 9 millimeter and 40 cal. Hornady XTT, badass energy. Yeah, could be pretty good energy there. You do have to be careful about clothing clogging that hollow point. That's for sure. Two-legged threat. Let's see. Have a great night, Hunter Kirk. Take care. If you do go on a hunt with a native frame, could you hunt and take game as they do, like popping a swimming caribou from a boat with the 22 or spearing a seal? No. If you are not a native Alaskan, you cannot spear a seal. And I don't believe you're allowed to shoot any type of game while they're in the water. Except for ducks, of course. All right, Hunter Man. What's up, Brad Kiefer? It's good to see you. American Reloading has Hornady CX bullets cheaper now. That's cool. But they are pooled. Yeah, I don't want pooled bullets. What's a decently priced 1911? T-Sauce. They do good. They're usually pretty functional and reliable, but they're made in Turkey. So a lot of people don't like them made in Turkey. Turkey's a NATO ally, guys. Like I get it. They're not Christians, but generally speaking, there are a lot of Christians in Turkey. But yeah, I get it. But they are a NATO ally and one of our few allies in the Middle East. All right. So yeah, I would definitely get a Turkish one. So SST is a bad word on this channel. That's right. Anything that's a non-bonded ballistic tip. I like the G40 10 millimeter, but there is one reason to choose 357. They weight 12 ounces. That makes no sense. My 357 Magnum weighs as much as my G40. That makes no sense. All right. Yep. Do you think the CMG 10 millimeter with 155 grain extreme defenders is a viable personal home defense system? I would want to go for home defense. I would want to go the 115 grain extreme defenders or the 100 because you're going to get a whole lot less chance of passing through. I think the 155 grains are actually extreme hunters, not the extreme defenders. And 155 grain XTP would be better because you don't want it going through walls and hitting your children. So yes, I do. I think the CMG system would be good. Yes, I do. Do I think it would be, amazing, this thing with that ammo? No. Once I would go 155 grain hollow points at that point, or 120 grain or 140 grain Barnes hollow points if you live in the Caliban where you have to use copper bullets. So is what it is. Saw a 150 grain SST from a 308 wind blow up on a pronghorn buck shoulder in Texas. Garbage bullet. Exactly. Yeah, probably is for now. See that changing soon. Do you like Federal Fusions? Yes, Federal Fusion is amazing bullet. Energy with ballistic tips is awesome. Never had a deer run. It was dead before it even folded up. Yep. Well, that one time you have a deer run, you'll never use a bonded, a non-bonded ballistic tip again. I'll tell you that much. Got it long ago. You even recommended it when I asked what was a good 10 millimeter. That was a M&P 2.10 millimeter. Springfield Glock. Yeah, Springfield or Glock's the way to go. Never had a good Turkish gun. Yeah, that's weird. Like shotguns. Yes, they've had some issues, but their handguns are known to be very reliable. I've never shot a Turkish handgun that wasn't reliable. For the longest time, nozzle ballistics tips were known to be the most accurate hunting bullet. Maybe. So, not bad. Walther versus Springfield. What y'all picking? Springfield. I'm picking Springfield. Of course, they're both made overseas, but I've seen a lot of hate on lead core bullets for hunting, as it is really bad for you to eat animal shot with lead. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, Canics are great guns, and they're made in Turkey. So, thoughts on home defense pistols? Watched a Garand thumb video where they shot various rounds through multiple layers of drywalls. Results were surprising. All the handgun rounds over penetrated. Yeah, so drywall is not a good test. No matter what you have to hit your target first and then see if it goes through drywall. So yeah, I uh I I think the best home defense is an AR-15 because you can get a 60 grain VMAX. It'll penetrate the person and not penetrate too far. So 60 grain VMAX bullet, Hornady VMAX bullet, something that's designed to explode. That's your best home defense. It's better than a shotgun because of the recoil and the loudness and the multiple rounds you might need against multiple intruders. It's better than a handgun because of the energy. Obviously, shotgun has a lot more energy. But yeah, your 5.56 223 has the same kinetic foot pounds as 44 Magnum. That's why it's called intermediate cartridge. It bridges the gap between rifle and handgun. So I honestly, a 11 and a half inch, 12 and a half inch, 10 millimeter SBR, or excuse me, 223 5.56 SBR would probably be ideal with a 60 grain VMAX, or even something like a 62 grain copper bullet. Maybe if you wanted something that would give you a little bit better penetration. But yeah, handgun rounds are going to go through multiple layers of drywall. Rifle rounds go through multiple more. Buckshot, birdshot goes through about the same as the handguns, if not a little more with the buckshot. So, like, if you're judging what they do in a drywall situation, that's not good. You want to know what they do after they hit your target. Okay, are they going to stay in 16 inches of ballistic gel and then go through and hit the drywall, or are they going to stay in that block like they should be? You know, it's kind of what you want to do. Factory nozzle 140 grain ballistic tips in one of my 6.5 PRPs is yet to shoot larger than 3/8 inch. There you go. That's good. Will that four-wheeler be used to get to hunting place? Yep. Or is most terrain a hiking proposition? Most terrain is a hiking proposition. What is your long range? What's your range from your primary mode of transportation when hunting? Like the distance a man can go. I've gone out as much as 8 miles hiking from my truck, there and back in a single day. Part of that was biking, part of that was hiking. Like I was mountain biking for part of it and hiking for another part. The distance a man can go. So that was after my injuries and my neuropathy. So kind of is what it is. Like for me, one direction, 5 miles. 5 miles, one direction, go and hunt, and then get out. So this is what it is. Got my medical assistant addicted to handguns. Her first was a canic. There you go. Total fusion is the best ear bullet. Expands to 75 to 80 caliber. Mass amount of energy dump. Yeah, hits the vitals. Total fusion is amazing. Good bullet. Yep. I wish they made them for reloading. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think of hitting the target first. Yeah, there's no point in doing drywall test if you don't have that ballistics lab dummy that he has on his channel. If that's not in front of the drywall, there's no point to that test, because if you miss with anything, it's going through multiple layers of drywall. It's probably going through multiple houses. Let's just be honest. Especially packed together in a suburban neighborhood. Oh yeah, it's going through multiple houses. Right? Hit your target. Okay. I loaded a ton of nozzle B tips back in the Dineys. Too many better choices these days. Yep, I agree. Barnes LRX, for example. All right. I have some Turkish shotguns, Winchester XSB. NK1 is losing pieces after around 100 shells. The XSB BR feel good quality after 100 shells. Cool. Good to know. I'm going to have to find Federal Fusions to hand load. None of the factory ammo shoots in any of my rifles, sadly. That's for sure. Yeah, like very rarely does it shoot. Still firm believer in loading your own ammo. You and me both. Federal Premium Blue Box 5.56 50 grain hollow point in an AR has tested really well for wound cavity without over penetration. Yes, that'd be a good one. I've got I've got my 2 box of clear ballistics gel. My next video is going to be, um, best 5.56 home defense, kind of like it is. So, I definitely prefer hand loading, but some factory ammo does really well. Like I prefer hand loading for hunting. I prefer hand loading for sport shooting, target shooting. But I'm going to be honest with you, for self defense, you go factory. And Masad Ayub, or how do you say his name? He has a really great video on gunpowder residue. And gunpowder residue, they have tested most of the defensive type of ammo. And with that defensive type of ammo, they can go do, you can do, like, they can prove your story or not prove your story. But with hand loaded ammo, they don't often get it right. So, yes, I do. I do. I absolutely check my rifles for free loading barrel and test torque out of action screws. Yeah. Yeah. You actually put the test in there. Yes, it's very good. All right. There you go. Have fun. And that you're getting good work out of them. Yep. Use factory loads for defensive work, whether it's an AR-15, a shotgun, or a handgun. Yep. Anyway, guys, my family just got home, so I'm gonna end this stream and I'm gonna go spend time with them. So, guys, God bless. Take care. Don't forget to check out the MeWe page or the Arms Directory page. Check out my latest videos. I'm probably going to have a video out this week. I know I said I was going to have it out last week, but I didn't. So, guys, that's that. What is your cap on longest range? You will take a shot while hunting in the best case scenario. No wind, 600 yards. I feel like good with that. Yep. So, anyway, what's up, Joshua Grantland? How you doing? Good to see you. Yep, he's a very good one. Gentleman, he's still posting Wilson Combat. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Godspeed. Good hunting to all y'all.